is vital. Otherwise, this could be a long game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss. Another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
And this certainly doesn't seem like an ideal situation for them because they're coming in on a losing streak, and they've got the quick turnaround right here to Thursday night. But maybe that's for the best. Get right back on the horse and go at it again and not dwell on the losing that they've had in recent weeks.
On second down, it's Hunt. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Lions. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 39.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And an alley to run. And he's taken down inside the 30. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Here's Watson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, If you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can drive as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Brissett. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
On first down. Hunt. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, Watson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans push further out in front.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw, Brissett. Caught. It's Huff. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his third.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. 2nd quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes with deep...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
Now a handoff looking right. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Brissett. James has got it. Complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jesse James. His first touchdown on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
We often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series, so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing again is Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Watson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Watson now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Here's Watson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
Come on, baby.
So we have reached halftime, and there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Brissett. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a first down or more inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it, and the running game is starting to pay off.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Brissett sets to throw it. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm, incomplete. Now it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with. They have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. The 2017 All-Pro Darius Slay there in coverage, knocking it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This is taken at the 23. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
From the 39, Brissett. He'll get this into the hands of Travis Fulgham. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Pushing tacklers aside. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the Texans' 27-yard line.
On 2nd and 12, Brissett. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Back now at Ford Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. And to give this time to the tailback. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And he completes it to Hunt. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. That kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Watson to throw again. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And this one is right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
11 yards there and a Lion first down. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Check 99. Shift. Watch the safety creep.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they face a 3rd and 15 here following the delay of game. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory.
A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Lions, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.